SWB audio capture, not registered.
A piece of love, a piece of you. Do you have what it takes to beat the fear that's in your heart? To grow up strong and undo wrong. To grow up strong and undo wrong. What it takes to be a hero. Grow up strong and undo wrong. What it takes to be a hero. Grow up strong and undo wrong. What it takes to be a hero.
What's going on, fellow Bionicle nerds, BioTubers, and LEGO fans alike? My name, as you know, is Zach Kaplan, aka LegomationStudio. We have Geo on the soundboard. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about all things Bionicle Day. Now, it has been, it's like over a month or so since I've done one of these, so it's good to be back. It's good to have everyone here. We're going to be talking about all things Bionicle Day, of course, about, I think it was like a week ago or so. Yeah, it was on August 8th. We had, at least to my knowledge, the first ever real Bionicle Day. So you can see we're going to be looking through a couple of these things that are obviously really fascinating to look at, and we're kind of just shedding a light on the community. And in general, to me, it was a day that I think was celebrated most out of all Bionicle Days, it being the 20th anniversary. They were able to do the Beaver House. I don't know if you guys know, the Beaver House is a YouTube channel. They also have a Discord. They were basically able to do interviews with a lot of the main people. You know, they had Greg Farshey, they had Christian Faber, they had people from the films, people from the Flash games, all sorts of people were interviewed. So honestly, quite a impressive feat for people to have been able to pull off and get people on board to do. And at the end of the day, I had a really good time. You know, I was actually in the airport traveling, but I had it on the entire time, for almost all 8 hours. I was just listening. So it was really fun to kind of see people really that care, and the fan base care, and see people who not only are usually kind of out of the sphere, but don't even really know how big of a fan base it is, or at least as niche as it is, until they were interviewed and saw that so many people were tuning in. So with that said, I'd like to go ahead and of course say, here with me today we have Toa Jaeger. We also have Geo, Captain Geo. We also have Darth Raven as well. Couple of people from the Discord. If you're watching live now, by the way, I believe the link in the description is the current updated Discord link. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and click that, join. That way you'll be able to come on if you want and lend your voice to the many other shows we'll be having in the future. But I guess let's just do introductions. Go ahead, and we have I think you're still coming through. Your camera was frozen for a second, but it looks good now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Geo, go ahead.
So I was also not exactly when it comes to watching the live streams, I wasn't exactly paying full attention to it because it was going on while I was working. at my day job, so I was actually listening to it the entire time. It started off as like a retrospective, and then it went into that interview. Bob, and I'm so glad that Bob came on for that interview with
Right.
Greg and Christian. It's like the first time I've heard of him in like almost 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
It's insane. But it's like that interview was really interesting. I would say I wasn't really listening to like specifically what they were talking about, but what I did catch, I remember it being interesting at the very least. It was very exciting to see all of them together.
No, yeah, it's something you like rarely get to see, honestly. So being able to see, yeah, literally being able to see all of these people that like have done so much for Bionicle and have done so much to sort of like, create this world that our imaginations fell in love with when we were kids and still to this day we hold very dearly, was just really fascinating. And like, I think LJ did a great job, one of the great ambassadors of Bionicle fandom, asking questions. And as you guys saw throughout the, I don't know, I guess you can't call it really a convention, but the celebration, they just had an amalgamation of fan-made games, of like projects, of the contests, of literally just all things Bionicle. They even played like the old clips from old commercials and everything. And it was just kind of fun to be a part of. Like 300, 400, I think, or so people was around the max that it got to, of just tuning in for the day, having it either on in the background or just being a part of the conversation as a whole. It was fun to see. I don't know, Jager, did you watch any of it?
If he's here.
No, I did not. I think at the time the interview was happening, me and a couple of my friends were watching Legends of Metronui. It was a blast, and and one guy called Onua ET.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Onua.
I mean,
I wonder why Onua ET is
no,
ET
no,
like?
No,
It's
no,
Onua.
not on. Yeah, Onua.
Oh, okay.
I mean, his face really gave it off in his color.
Well, I personally thought it was great. I don't know, Darth Raven, how about you? Were you watching any of it?
I have not. I was one of the friends, Jager, when he streamed Legends of Metronui. I was like one of the friends that watched it when he streamed it.
All right.
I was actually, I don't know, what was I doing? I don't remember. I think I was just like, helping out with some family things, pretty much.
Right. Well, I'm going to take it to the live chat. I don't know, any people in the live chat that were actually watching, go ahead and let me know, because in a bit here I want to talk about a couple things. There was the fan video game that was not necessarily, I guess it was announced because this trailer hadn't dropped, but Masks of Power. Essentially pretty epic. I mean, looks incredible. I'm gonna have Thrawn on here.
Masks of Power. It's the new Masks of Power game.
Yes. The new Masks of Power game.
Because the same developers, Team Kanohi, they released a different version of the game, an earlier version, basically an alpha version of what this game is going to be.
Yeah, here is a little photo of it. Yeah.
I thought it was an environmental update.
Yeah. It essentially just shows you the amount of detail that they're putting into it. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily open world or it all connects, but just being able to see something on Steam that's like Bionicle, like, I don't know, that was kind of cool.
From the information that I was getting, and I saw on the Steam page, it said it was going to be open world, just like Quest for Mata Nui is going to be.
That would be insane, just to be able to like walk from village to village. Yeah, I mean, that would be insane. The amount of work it takes, especially since it's like, it's non-profit, no one's getting paid for this, and I guess Lego kind of gave them the ability, like gave them the A-OK to kind of do whatever they wanted with it. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. So in a bit, we'll go ahead and take a look at that too. Let me go ahead and get to the live chat really quick. Just see what we got going on. I know it seems like the streaming right now has been a little iffy, but I think that's because I went to low latency instead of ultra low because I was trying to get as high quality as I can. But all right, let's see who's in the live chat today. We got BioScrawl. Hey, what's up? Didn't tune in much, but checked out the Beaver House Twitch. Yeah, totally. That's, all you can really do, at least I thought was the most fun. Alien Kid, Daler99. BioTube is here. Tokiro. Yeah, Alien Kid 360, good to see you. Toa Jagger says, is talking in the chat. Brother from Another Brick, DJ Alster, Captain Gia going, what's good? Yoshi dude, how's it going? Potato Man, what's good? What's up? DXL the Port 429. Robin Strickland finally catching a live stream. Hell yeah, brother. That's awesome. Toa Quiro says, at Bioscrowl, I would agree the games look like they have a great perspective of the game with amazing graphics. Yeah, it's almost like unbelievable graphics. Brother from Another Brick saying LJ's a beauty. Yeah, he really is a great ambassador, just a great interviewer and talker for Bionicle. Knows everything he could about it, and was for sure, in my opinion, like one of the best people to do the job. Yeah, as far as I guess kind of my thoughts on how all the interviews went, it was pretty interesting to see that like Greg Farshi, for example, still has a day job with like Lego, but at the same time, like he's not just doing comics, he does like the magazine and all sorts of other aspects, but says like he himself is trying to get into more new like fictional writing because that's kind of how he got started. Christian Faber, of course, talked about all of his projects that we've all as a community known about for a long time, but then it was cool to see some of the people from the films and the people from the games still had like memorabilia or like a giant Makuta statue or all. It was just like all sorts of interesting little souvenirs from working on Bionicle that they still had, even like just like a tote bag or something. So that was pretty incredible. I thought that was really, I mean, that was awesome to see, just that like the creators themselves still care and like still hold it as like something deep in their heart. So yeah, overall, really great time. Who else we got in the chat? Oh, okay, we see Kyler Nuva is tuning in. What's good? Yoshi Dude says, talking about Lego games, Builder's Journey, I believe, has the power to bring in a new era of Lego gamers like the ones from the 90s. I agree. Yoshi Dude, I will follow Greg if he does anything. Totally. Henrique Holtemon says, this was probably the best Bionicle day ever, the best 20th birthday I could have had. If that's your birthday, happy birthday, Enrique. But also, yes, 20 years of Bionicle. I mean, how incredible. It's nuts to think like that time flies like that. Like, it's just crazy. Really insane. But then again, yeah, Brandon Builds, yo, what's up? Good to see you here. 15 concurrent viewers. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about Bionicle Day, as it was about a week ago. I was traveling, so unfortunately could not, stream while I'm like in an airport. But overall, it was a really good day. I loved the interviews. I never knew who the Beaver House were. I don't know, Captain Geo. Like, what about?
It's the first time I've heard of them too. So you're
kind of like
we're in
came
the
out of
same boat
nowhere.
here.
I didn't exactly.
I sort of know them.
I didn't exactly
Sorry
get
for
what it was all about. I don't know. Like, are they? So they're like streamers or Twitch streamers or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I know some things.
Okay, because I had no idea. Like, I never heard of them. I didn't really have like a clue what to think at first. But I guess like they are well connected or they're like somewhat known in the Bionicle community. I don't know. What else do you like? Do you got? I guess. What do you know about them, Jager? As far as like, I joined their Discord just so I could be aware of the show.
I don't really know much about them, though. I do know that they were somewhat involved in obtaining the Legend of Motunui.
Right. Okay.
I do know that they were credited. In fact, I think some of their people. I don't know if this is accurate, but I do know that I think some of their people were involved in Lightstone. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I am aware that they had some involvement with obtaining the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, from my knowledge, I didn't know like kind of who they were or what their kind of like deal was, but they put on a really good show, and surprising like how they were able to get a hold of all the people that they did, and I mean produced just like kind of a well-made show. Like, I know I'm on their like Discord, and a lot of it is Bionicle, but I know they also just focus on a lot more games and a lot of other things as well. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. That was like fascinating to me. Let's see. Yeah, Kyler Nuva saying it's doing pretty good. Andres OV, hi, what's up? Kyler Nuva says, imagine if for the 25th anniversary, Miramax actually releases the Ignition trilogy. No way. I wouldn't be surprised if for the 20th anniversary of Mask of Light they do another little thing, but, you know, for each of the films. Yoshi Dude, they were the guys who got the 2001 PC game Legend of Machinui. Cool, okay, great. So, Jager's correct. They were the ones who originally put that all together. Jackson Wade, how's it going, my man? Yoshi Dude. Toakira also says, by the way, I know it's a bit out of date, but is anyone else so kind of upset about Sakotas? I mean, I got over that a long time ago, so not really. Even Sakota himself is moving on to other things. I'm more interested in just all the other Lego Ideas projects that are like Bionicle related, because there are some that are like even cooler, like just like the giant Machinui robot or like the bust of just Machinui's head. Things that I think are more likely to be able to, you know, contact the creator and get, you know, their, I guess you could call it their blessing to, you know, have them send you like instructions or, you know, a list on how to build it. I don't know. That seems like something to me that is more likely. I don't know how to describe it.
If you still feel like if you still feel so strongly about this, our last stream was about Sakota's project and the future of the Bionicle community in regards to like Lego Ideas and
totally,
and basically everything. And I think I don't think that there is much of a need to repeat ourselves here on this stream, because we already said basically everything that needed to be said with the last one.
Yeah, for a long time. So go ahead and check that out, because I definitely got into it. But I'm sure what, you know, Tokiro is also saying, he's just bringing it up because he feels, at least personally, still a little annoyed by it. But, I mean, end of the day, it is what it is. I don't think it would have changed much for our
Don't take
day-to-day.
it too personally.
Yeah, you can't take it personally.
Don't take it too personally. Don't take it that personally.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, let's just, like, devil's advocate. If you'd put that on display, like, how many people would look at that and go, oh, Bionicle? You know, not a lot. You know, there's definitely better ways to just, you know, display your own Bionicles and spend money on collecting.
Like, in the overall, like, big picture of Lego sub-themes, it's like less of Bionicle in the fans of Legos in the eyes of Lego fans, and it's more like Bionicle.
Which is unfortunate.
You know what
yes.
I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
And they only say that because they don't know, okay?
Yeah. They don't know. Totally. What else are people in the chat saying? Okay. Andres Ovi says, I'm a fan of set 2 years. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009.
All of G1 except 2005.
So all of G1, yeah.
All G1 except 2005, which is very understandable because 2005 was a garbage year for sets. Canister sets anyway. The Titans were good.
Yeah, Titans were cool. Film was actually okay, but story, it was just weird. Again, if you don't know, the reason why they went back, half the reason why, is because the movies were an important thing at the time, and they had all these assets from that third film. So they were like...
Even Greg disagreed with how Metro Nui was handled in 2005.
Yeah. He was like, it's supposed to be 1 year just to give, like, you know, a better, you know, further kind of, like, explanation of who these characters are or what they've been doing, and then we want to get back to it. But, I don't know. You guys know it's ancient history now. They were like, we have to make use of all
Canon
these.
Now.
We have to make use of all these models and these renders, and like we need to spend another year here because we would have 2005 would have been Voya Nui, really.
2005 really would have been Voya Nui, but Miramax had to say no. We made too much of this stuff. We can't just scrap it.
That's another thing. Is okay if I can mention something?
Yeah, go ahead, Jager.
Could have been there was another solution that they could have done. Basically, they could have made new assets. I know it's difficult, but they also could have used the old assets in some way, because they could have shown of how like Tahu and the gang would have shown up on Metro Nui and probably had to fight and yeah, they could have used those, but no, they're like, oh yeah, we have to do an entire other year because we need money.
I literally think Bionicle would have not had a bit of the downfall it did 2005, 2006, if they had literally just done the entire Vizorock storyline, Metro Nui Part 2, but just with the Toa Nuva returning.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, considering each of the Bionicle movies, like, I think even the fourth one too, most of them, if not all of them, are about an hour long each.
Yeah.
And that's really short in movie standards, especially in today's movie standards. Like, in something that's as big as Bionicle, like, lore-wise, you could have bunched them all up, like, into one big movie. And even Guinness Walker did that right before he stepped down as a BioTalk host.
This is true.
Which, that's like, you could have, Miramax and Lego could have melded 2004 and 2005 stories together into one thing, so that every one of them would have been happy.
For me, also, it just seems like Bionicle fans, while the big ones like us could recognize Vekama and all these names, they were the Turaga.
Philo's in the chat, dude! Philo!
Philo, what's good? They should just download the assets from stud.io. I like all modern Bionicle content creators. True, Philo. True. Good to see you here. I also want to point out, to me, I think a reason why, like, people recognize Tahu and Kopaka and Gali. Having them come back just a year later, I think, would have kept fans interested instead of, like, all these new characters for the next 4 years. Yeah. So people grew out of it. 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, all these 4 years while I was into it, because I'm like a deep fan, at the time. I'm reading the books, doing it all.
It honestly would have been healthier.
So confused.
It honestly would have been healthier for the story if they just spent the single year in Metro Nui and then moved on back into the main narrative. But that's not what happened, so we have to live with it.
No, totally. Yeah, Yoshidude says Titans were combiners in 2005 were where it's at. Kaonuva, I like the Viscerocks, though. I do, too, actually. I love them more than the Vaki. I think they were great. Tokiro said, yup, I was excited that he was able to release new episodes. Alien Kid 360, I think everyone would have wanted a 2006 movie instead of 2005. Everyone did. Everyone. Web of Shadows is still cool, though, I will say. Like, it's a very personal film, and it definitely, dives into what it means to be a leader and, these personal relationships. It has a little bit of Revenge of the Sith as far as, kind of a comet turning to the dark side for a hot sec.
Oh, yeah.
It has some good...
Greg said it should have been Matau. Greg said it should have been Matau to turn inside.
The reason why is because Vekama was just the main character from the previous year, and when it comes to kids and their favorite main character, it just makes sense.
But it doesn't matter. You could have made Matau into a main character just from his motivations alone.
Yeah. Henrique Holtzman says, it kind of lost meaning because we already knew what happened by the end of Legends of Metro Nui, so Web of Shadows is just filler. 100%, especially for kids. They're like, what's going on? Why are we going back?
All of the Metro Nui arc is just filler. The stakes are high, but the tension is the audience audience retention is low because this is all just one retrospective story. We know the heroes are going to win, so why even pay attention to it?
If anything, the books at the time delve into a little bit more of what was helping flesh out things for the future than the films did. The films were very still just kind of surface level what was going on at the time. Philo says, I got a lore question for you. Is there enough lore for a horror VR Bionicle game around Karzani? Probably spelled that wrong. Dude, definitely. If you read, not from the Ignition comics, but the books at the time, what were the books called for 2006?
I think Legends. Yeah, no, they were
Legends was 2004, 2005. That was there was Bionicle Adventures, no. Bionicle Chronicles, Bionicle Legends. Anyways, there's a book that starts off and it's mostly the Paraka just stomping around Voya Nui, but every time it flashes back to the Matoran, Jaller, Holly, Huki, Nuparu, Matoro.
It was Legends.
It was Legends. Cool. Legends. Island of Doom or whatever. There's a whole probably 2 chapters at least dedicated to Karzani. And we learn more about him as well during the Marinui saga just for a split second. So, yeah, I mean, if you read those first 1 or 2 Legends books,
VR horror on Karzani could make it like Outlast or,
oh yeah,
or
and
Resident
he's taking
Evil. That'd be
everyone's
so much fun.
Yeah, he's taking everyone's masks. He's making them these slaves. Like, yeah, I mean, it definitely is a cool idea. I think a horror VR of just the Paraka being on Voya Nui too is very 2006 and 2007 are very like horror centric, very scary.
2007, make it a VR experience like Subnautica VR. You know how scary Subnautica can get sometimes?
Oh yeah, no, I know. I've watched people stream it and everything, like for sure.
I've played it, and it's freaking terrifying to see the Reaper Leviathan just come after you.
I'm trying to find this photo. I'm trying to find this photo someone posted in like a Bionicle group chat where it's like what a realistic Baraki would look like, and it's like freaking terrifying.
Yo, I'm actually gonna look that up. Realistic.
We honestly should have had a 2006 movie because that would have kept everything going on for so much longer.
Realistic Baraki.
Just to hear the Paraka's like booming voices. I wanted to hear.
Evan, let me know if you found it, but I'm trying to.
I wanted to hear Avok's Australian accent put to film. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Media.
Oh.
Did you find it? I don't know.
Bunch of stuff from Reddit's pub. Oh, I found a drawing of Takanox looking all scary and stuff. There's one on
a lot of that, but there's one specifically that I saw just recently that was freaking awesome. Basically, like a realistic depiction of what like underwater creatures like the Baraki would have looked like, and it is just like terrifying. Dang.
There is
How could I
no,
find this?
Too.
I'm honestly
I'm gonna have to
terrified
keep
of what it
scrolling.
is.
I'm literally just gonna have to keep scrolling to find this. Whatever, I'll find it eventually.
I'm honestly terrified of what the results can be.
But yeah, it's like I feel like there's a lot of debate and topic to be had about like 2005, 2006, that transition in general. Like at the time, Lego themselves was dealing with a lot of financial problems, as was everyone. You know, there's this stock market crash and all that. Oh, I found it. Oh yeah. Okay.
I also put another thing on voice chat to text.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay, for everyone watching, let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
that was it.
here
I
it
didn't
is.
know that.
I was sorry.
Pretty nuts.
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh,
I need to wait
crap.
for it to catch up.
Oh man, it's not showing it. What the?
Language.
I don't know which one's scarier looking.
All right, here we go. I just have to refresh it.
Personally, I think Prydak might be high on that list because if this is meant to be a horror
There we go.
depiction, the face on his face is blood.
So this is like kind of the. Let me zoom in. Yeah. Like this is what Baraki would look like. I don't know. This is probably from a video game. This is probably from
yeah.
I don't know what this is from, but I saw this and I was like, dude, legit, that is exactly what they would look like.
Wait. Where's that picture?
Like this is Baraki the sets. You know what I mean? This is kind of what they look like, but this.
Who would that be?
I'll send it in the voice text.
And
what
four eyes.
What about Nocturne? Honestly, did the person get Nocturne?
Literally, if there was like a live action adaptation, how could they not look like this?
Okay, I want
Imagine you're underwater and you run into
that?
these creatures. This is what
Except
the Baraki would look like.
It wouldn't be live action. It would all have to be CG.
Yeah.
It's like a Cthulhu.
Let's see what
Yes.
people
No,
say.
that doesn't look like Cthulhu. I've seen the books and the actual depiction of Cthulhu. It doesn't look like that.
Or close.
It's
Golden
very
Dragon
eldritch
Bath.
and Lovecraftian. It's very Lovecraftian. It's very eldritch.
Golden
that's what
Dragon
you're
Bath
talking about.
says, I want the Matanui Toa to become Turaga and us to get the step up for a new generation of Toa. That'd be a cool idea, definitely.
A lot of
That'd be
people
going back
are
to the
already
basics.
doing that. A
That'd
lot
be
of
going
people are
back to
already
it.
doing that with
Ooh.
with their own fan
Jesus.
content. That's what I did with my fan project. It's just
What
taking a long time.
I have an idea. I have a subject we could possibly that could possibly involve the Bionicle Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Haga contest?
Yeah. Okay.
See, I don't really follow the like Canon contests or a lot of that stuff, so I don't really know. I wouldn't really have much to say, so you guys can go ahead and talk about it for
Yeah.
if you want.
I've got a bunch to say.
I do too.
Let's see. Where should I start?
Is
First
it
off,
because mine wasn't picked? I'm upset, or is it just are there other things? Because
So I
there's no
entered the
Ruin.
contest. I entered the
obviously-
contest with my picks, and none of them made it to round 2. That's not
Well-
exactly what I'm. That's not exactly what I'm unhappy with. It's the fact that another mockist that I don't like that much got another win.
well, is it
underneath their
political at all? Like, how do they even come up with the winners? You know, is it just TTV like voting on them? Do they have like a board?
They take the most popular one, and since Greg is so disconnected from the community, they don't know like who the mockists are, and frankly, they don't really. It doesn't really matter.
Oh,
They
Greg
just look
votes?
at the models, and
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It does.
we vote on it, and then the number 1 pick goes to Greg for further confirmation.
Wow, I did not know that.
Ooh. So yeah, these are the official looks of them. Honestly, I am very mixed on these guys. Sort of.
So I didn't know that. So, and sorry, like I guess I'm a bit of a noob, but I did not know that Greg was. I mean, then you have to realize it's like no hurt feelings, nothing personal. To him, this is like maybe the closest to what he had in his brain when he was writing these characters. You know.
Here's should we share our opinions on these?
If you want to pull
Keep it
them
PG.
up,
Keep it
on,
PG,
like
please.
sharing your screen.
Okay.
or-
Personally,
how
I
we
do
do it.
really like these designs. I do have problems with Bamunga because it's going to cause a shortage in black Metro torsos, and the fact that people are using that people are possibly going to be painting parts honestly terrifies me.
How will there
I
be
know I
a
would
shortage
get
in
that.
Black Metro pieces?
Because he uses 5 Metro torsos.
But I feel like not people don't watch like look at the winners and then go, oh, now I have to make that. I feel like the people who made it are like, yeah, I won, and that's kind of it.
But there's still going to be a lot of people that are going to want to build them, especially
Because-
Duck Bricks.
Well, I guess
Duck Bricks
right.
wants to. Duck Bricks is like one of the few people that actually builds the Canon
Right.
contest winners.
That is cool. I mean, what are you gonna do? Over the next years, it's gonna be harder and harder to find any Bionicle piece. So stock up.
This is why Studio is better.
This is why Studio's
Yes,
better.
it
This is
is.
why working on better and better 3D printers sometimes works. But alas,
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's like, what can you do?
So the art contest, I believe the art contest for the Toahaga have not started yet. So we still have plenty of time to build the next Canon contest model, which is Toa 2 yet.
Right.
I'd love to see what people come up with for 2 yet. I've already built mine. I built it back in December last year. So I have to do a few modifications in order to make it more compliant with the
I noticed
with
too
what
that
Bionicle fans like.
I did look at the winners, and I noticed too that not all of them are like studio renders, and I feel that just might be
None of them are.
Yeah, I feel like that
No.
might just be Greg thinking like, oh, I should try and like select all different types, and like if it was all just made on a computer 3D, because he was the one that was probably a part of like Lego Magazine when they were deciding who's like back when it was they would have mock submissions from like kids, you know, like that built their own Bionicles that
It
were featured in
also-
the magazines.
It's not just that it's Greg thinks it's like it's a physical build, so that's better. No, it's more the Bionicle community saying like they prefer physical builds over digital builds.
Yeah, which
And
I
that's
guess
why
makes sense.
the physical builds won over the studio builds.
So there's a note for you guys going forward. Spend more money on physical builds and maybe you'll win.
Maybe.
Hey, at least you're guaranteed, I guess, in a way, the fact that like Greg did look at your, creation. So
I do have a bit of a rule proposal for the future contests coming up. If you are one of the mockists that have won the last contest, I would say it's fair to prohibit the last winner, from participating in the next adjacent contest, to prevent everything from looking samey.
right.
That's a good rule.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Yoshi Dude says, yeah, he didn't really like the Haga contest. Kyler Nuva says, one of my friends won the entry. Cool. The Pooks won. Awesome. BioScrawl, I haven't followed the contest myself. Same here. At least not deeply. BioTube, the Canon contests are a joke, to be honest. Maybe. I mean, I think it's just fun to hear, now that I know that it's like literally Greg Farschi, one of like in his brain visual like creators of Bionicle, is the one kind of behind deciding who he likes the most. That is kind of cool, and it does, fortunately or unfortunately, give credence to the creation and the actual, like, it does in a way feel like it headcanonizes it for some reason. But I hear everyone's complaints. Toakuro says
All right, I got it.
I would have. I would change nothing except Klaus. I would prefer his mask to be more Hordika-like. It would make sense for a Mask of Rahi control. I would also change his metallic color.
I got the names. I got the names of the winners of the contest here.
For sure.
So Pooks, the winning Pooks was built by Kodiak. The winning Gaaki was built by Domi. The winning Koalas was built by Subpar Faux Pas, and the winning Bamongo was built by the _double. That is his second win under his belt. He also built the Canon Helrix.
Okay.
Can I also say something?
Yeah, go for it.
During the art contest, they actually laid the winners laid down some rules, like what you could change or not change. For Bamonga, you could only change his metallic color. For Koalas, you can change his metallic color his metallic color. For Pooks, you could change his spear tip, his metallic color, and his mask. And Gaki, her spear tip, metallic color, and mask.
So Double didn't want anything to be changed on his design for Bamonga. So Galva's version of the Kanohi Faxon is the Mask of Growth. There is no changing that.
Yeah.
Whoa, I feel bad. Political.
Yeah, so let's get into... Let's see. I forget. I think I want to talk about some of the video games.
Actually, I was gonna bring up the fact myself that
Oh, here we go.
I like the builds somewhat of the Haga. I'm just not too crazy with Bamongas because of his use of the Metru torsos for the wings.
Did any of the winners
because it'll make everything harder on everyone else, right?
Did any of the winners have custom masks at all? Or was it
all of them did. All of them did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think who's the female? Gaki, I think. Yeah, Gaki had looked like a custom Axon mask.
Was Gaki's Mask of Clairvoyance here was modeled by Galvanized.
And Bamonga has
all of them. I think all the mocks that we see. I think all the mocks that we see here have masks that were designed by Galva.
Right.
That could be 3D printed.
I know what his mask looks like. I don't know about the Mask of Sensory Adjusting, I think it's called, but the rest of them are from Gavla.
Yeah,
Galva.
What else are people saying? Kagnuva says, I plan on building Helrix and Artaka someday. Bioshelf Toakiro says makes some sort of Canon models from what I can tell. Alien Ked says on the back of 2007 Titans instructions there were pictures of mocks that kids submitted. Yeah, there were. When I received the Lego magazine as a kid, there were mocks like weekly or monthly. pretty frequently, honestly. And some of them weren't great, but I think Lego takes into account that there's kids of all ages, of all all sorts of having talents. So they wanted to put everyone in there,
which is nice.
Okay, yeah, BioTube, Skype 2021. I don't know what people are saying. Skype is the future, clearly. Politics and Bionicle, it's a bad mix. Toy robots equals politics. Julia D writing in says, I don't like the rule that the Tohaga wear masks shaped like other masks minus Iruni. Norik should be the only one since he's the leader. Others wear them in standard shapes. That's an interesting rule to have, or an interesting idea, for sure.
So the model for Pooks, like the only reason why Pooks has a different mask, it's not that it's the mask of emulation like what he said it was. Like one of the rules was to it was that that your entry for Pooks could not be the canon representation of the mask of emulation. That just wasn't going to fly.
Right.
And I think honestly the Metru build aspect kind of threw everyone off. And personally speaking, I didn't really feel that comfortable working with Metru builds because I am one of the very, very few people that despises the Metru build.
It's funny. I didn't realize it, and then I started to really like it. I don't know.
Like it looks very visually appealing, but as an action figure, like I do not like using prefabricated pieces in my mocks. Like,
totally.
With my most recent model, like there's almost no prefabricated part on here except for maybe the upper legs and the feet, and that's basically it.
Yeah. That's awesome though. To transition on, I'm going to go ahead and have Thrawn in here because we're going to go talk about the Masks of Power game. Let's see who I should pull in and out. Who do we have? Jaeger or Raven, is one of you guys cool with me pulling him in for a sec?
I think I should probably head out.
No worries. You're seeing like family and stuff, so go ahead and do that, man.
Yeah,
It's
so
good to have
yeah.
you.
So
yeah, good to see you, man. Bye, Jagger.
Nice. Thrawn.
Oh yeah, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Let's see if I can pull it up too. I want to talk about this insane game, or insane looking game.
Yeah.
Even my friends who use Steam and everything, like I sent them this and they're like, "Wow, I gotta add this to my wish list." So
yeah, it's only a demo though.
No, yeah. I mean, who knows how far it's actually gonna go, But it's still pretty epic. So I'm gonna.
Zach, I've been meaning to ask: you think there would be like a realistic version of the Baraka, like with the Baraki?
I'm sure if you look it up, but I don't think this was like someone's actual design. This was like literally the one I was showing earlier. This was literally like from a video game or like a concept art from something that they like thought looked like Baraka. But okay, I'm gonna play this video for everyone watching right now. I'm assuming most of you guys have seen it, but if not, what we are going to look at right now is I guess you could say they call it environmental teaser for the game that Team Kanohi is making. As you can see, Lego is not paying for this. They're not paying for this. It's a fan-produced game. But they were able to get it on Steam. So we're going to go ahead and play it.
Nobody's making money off of this.
Yeah,
nobody's making money off of this.
So we're going to play it.
It's made in the Unreal Engine, like Quest for Modern Nui.
Yeah.
And it's free. So...
Yeah. But we'll see, like, whenever it does come out. Let's see. Okay. And this was released, actually, much like trailers for films during, like, conventions. This was played on the Beaver House's stream, and then Team Kanohi uploaded it and made it live. And it's already at 50,000 views. Pretty nuts, honestly, for, like, a fan-made game. So we're going to play it through its completion if you guys haven't seen it yet, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, because I think Thrawn and all of us will have some things to say about it.
from Team Kanoe. Bionicle, Masks of Power. Find the power, relive the legend at masksofpower.com.
So yeah, pretty sweet. Just from my reaction, you know, I didn't expect this, but I was just watching on the Beaver House's like their stream, and literally this comes up, and I'm like, what is this? Is this animatics or something? And then I'm at the bar at the airport, and then they say that it's an actual game, and they talk to some of the people, and they explain kind of what it's about, that it's on Steam and everything. And it's like, you know, it's one thing to see, you know, fan-made games. There's been a bunch of them. They look great. A bunch that take place in 2001. You know, this island of Machanui, very, like, you know, small, not too huge. Because, like, to do, like, a Metro Nui game would be absolutely bonkers, crazy hard. And I saw people commenting, why this, you know, focus on 2001. One, it's definitely one of the most nostalgic years, but two, it's probably one of the easier ones to actually design into an open world game. So when you're looking at these like cinematics, I mean, it's quite insane. It's quite insane the amount of detail that they're putting into this. And yeah, is this like the actual game? Fully, totally, no, but it is an example of just what they're trying to work on. So I don't know. My thoughts are I'm pretty excited. Thrawn, if you're here, I mean, what do you have to say about it? Because even you said you added it to your wish list, even though it's just a demo. But as far you're very, you know, in the game sphere and see a lot of these fan-made things. So what compared to a lot, yeah.
I'm excited for it. I mean, it is made by like either one dude or like a really tiny team over 6 years, so it's still very impressive. I mean, you're comparing it to the games that are much older from like early 2000s. You know, the first original Bionicle game was like super pixelated, and I had it on my computer, and it was not great visually, right? Like, it was very visually unpleasant to the eye. But this is a huge upgrade compared.
And you're not talking about the Modanui online game, right?
No, not the Flash one. The just the Bionicle
talking about
game.
You're talking about like the actual like original Xbox PlayStation 2 game, right?
Yeah.
There's one that was on the PC.
Well,
first.
it was also on the PC. It came out on the PC first, actually, in Lego Magazine.
I think so.
And then a couple months later, they released it on Xbox, PlayStation.
I only know it because I played it on Xbox and I couldn't even get past the Tahu level. So
yeah.
I mean, like, I was, what, 7? I didn't know how to play games when I was 7. I'm pretty sure now if I came back to it, I would have just breezed through that part, no problem.
Playing games super early.
You were playing Halo when I was like 8 or 7, and I was like, what the heck is this? My parents would never let me play Call of Duty and Halo at 8 years old. Like Halo 2,
so
you
fun.
know, like so much
Yeah.
Halo
My parents
2.
didn't let me do that.
My parents
Thank
didn't
God that they
understand. My parents didn't understand the ESRB. So.
Ow, that's something.
But yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be really good. The next question is if it does really well, and if a lot of people download it, and the interest is there, what could be the next move of the dev team. Is like, could they potentially keep working on it? Could they start a Patreon or Kickstarter for the dev team themselves?
Right.
Because I've seen a lot of people do Kickstarters and fundraisers for the team that is working on fan projects and not for the fan project, because that doesn't go against probably the setup that they're
Doesn't
being
go
allowed
against
to do
Lego's
this.
rules.
Exactly.
Doesn't go against
Yeah.
Lego's rules.
Or will Lego notice, like, wow, this is getting a lot more traction than we expected. What if we just let them run with it and say, hey, you can do this and we could support you, just give us a certain amount of money? Which for them is like basically getting handed a blank check, right? Like, if the game does well, and from the wish list interest, it's going to do well, I'm assuming.
Right.
It's just free Lego for money. It's just free money for Lego, and they get the extra publicity of, hey, we did the correct thing that fans wanted this one time.
I mean, Thrawn, have you seen that been done before at all with like fan-made games?
Yeah.
When it comes to wish lists, you know, you're seeing kind of the outpouring support. Like, what would you say if you were to gauge this compared to other things you've seen?
It's very similar to a lot of other games that have gone through this kind of system. There have been ones that are more niche. For example, there's the Star Wars: The Clone Wars fan game that a French guy made. That got super popular because it literally copied the animation style of Clone Wars and just made it into a game that is technically not canon. And he got so much outpouring of support. But of course, under the same contracts probably that this guy is on with Lego, Star Wars was like, you can make this, but you can't profit from it. So he got profit for him as a person through his Patreon and not for the game itself, and then was able to fully release the game due to the support.
Right.
So I could see something like that happen. There are other games that have gone through, similar stuff where it's completely fan-driven. The support comes out, and they're like, if the interest is there, I might as well keep going, right?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I mean, it'd be insane to be able to walk around this island in such an insane, intensely detailed. At the same time, it's like, yeah, designing it all physically is one thing, but then the amount of potential bugs and like the missions you're going on and what exactly, like, I don't think they would have the support to be able to do like a massive like multiplayer online version of this.
Oh no, there's
That
no
would be
way.
insane. But it would be kind of cool to like make your own Matoran or Toa and walk around and just say hi to everyone. I'm like, dude, I'd pay like $20 a month for that.
I had
Greg,
I had a
Greg
thought about
himself
doing
in-
something.
Greg himself in the interview of the first day live stream is that he said something along the lines of like, Bionicle as a story medium is just so vast, you could spend your entire life in that medium and not even scratch the surface of what could be in there.
Totally.
So we could honestly do something like that. Just make like a non-profit MMORPG using the Unreal Engine, because Unreal Engine 5 is coming out soon, and Unreal
Right.
Engine 5 is going to look amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, super awesome. There were a handful of other games that they talked about. Like there was like, I think like a kind of a board game, tabletop game that's just online version of what the original Quest for Makuta game. Handful of other things as well. So, again, let me see what are people saying in the chat. Hype. This is hype. This is awesome. Oh boy. What else are people saying? Bionicle games, yeah. Shonen Bag says, oh man, Bionicle games, those take me back. Yoshi says, yeah, I've been playing it recently and I can't even beat the Tahu level. I, like, a couple months ago when I started doing YouTube again, I played through that entire game and I did it in, like, 4 hours or so. And I've seen people do, like, a fast run through it and do it in, like, 48 minutes or something. Like, insane. You have to know, like, all the little cheats and stuff. Collar Nuva says he still has Bionicle Heroes for PS2. Awesome.
I had it on the 360.
Julia D says, least favorite Bionicle game, we all know it's Matoran Adventures, but other opinions are appreciated. Least favorite? Well, it's weird because like most people would say like the Bionicle game, 2003, but I still have like some nostalgia for it and I kind of enjoy it. to me, I think one that could have been awesome and wasn't as detailed was the Voyanui online game, because that one had these 3D cutscenes, but it was so far from canon, and like the mini games within it were so like just like it's like it might as well been Flash 2D, but also I think developers that were doing small web games for a company like Lego at the time were all their eyes were set on 3D, so they weren't trying to do these 2D Flash animations that they used to do. So I think that game could have been a lot better than it actually was.
You're thinking about something different. You're thinking of like the Paraka animations or something like that. The
They were
actual
still
Voyanui
games.
online game. The actual Voyanui online game was top down. It was like a MOBA.
Oh, right. And it was like just top down square to square that you would move and set where you were going to walk. Yeah. Like kind of a board. Yeah. I remember that
And
game
you had
too.
to grind. You had to grind a lot more.
There weren't any
just
like
so you could fight each Paraka. Like each member of the Paraka are difficult to take down in that game.
yeah.
Like I beat that like over 10 years ago, and I haven't picked it back
That's
up again
nuts.
since then.
I've been meaning to say something. I was wondering, what if somebody out there, or me personally, made a Bionicle fan game that's completely non-canon, and it's very, very similar to another game back in 2006, which is called Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah. I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I had it on like
have
the
not.
Wii. It was just like a fighting game, really. Had a little bit of story to it, but it was good.
I played Bionicle the video game, the first one from apparently 2003.
Yeah.
Then Quest for the Toa, which was the one on the Game Boy, which I really enjoyed. And then the worst one, obviously, is Bionicle Heroes. That game was a garbage fire.
It's funny. Some
Actual
people
garbage
really
fire.
like it. Some people really like it.
Empire likes that one.
It's like Bionicle Call of Duty, and I didn't enjoy it.
Not even
Bionicle
first
Call of
person,
Duty, you
dude.
could collect studs, kind of like
Sorry.
the Lego games.
Bionicle Gears of War.
It actually does feel a little Gears of War-y in just some of the play.
It
Aspect.
just feels wrong. It
Well,
feels wrong.
it is like it's wrong.
It
in
honestly
that
should
it's
have been more
super weird.
story driven. It should have been more story driven rather than hack and slash.
The
But
characters.
keep in mind that these games were being developed when the story was being written, and
Yeah.
the story itself is super dark. Like, you just see the Paraka just shooting like every Matoran they see with a Zammer sphere, and it looks like a mass murder scene. And then that's actually what it looks like. Nobody dies. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a mass murder scene.
They
And
also like
later
bring,
on, you
they also like
actually
bring back characters
see-
from 2005, and it's like, again, like the original Bionicle game just doesn't feel like anything to do with canon. And the designs of some of the characters, while they try to incorporate more of what looks like the actual pieces and Technic pieces of like the Bionicle, like at the same time, these characters did not have the same like literally that have different arms and stuff from like what they actually were. All these games are mishandled. But when it comes down to it, the ones that we all really like are the ones that focused a lot on story and adventure. And definitely Quest for the Toe, and definitely the original, some of the Game Boy games, and of course the Machinui Online game were like the best at least, I think, incorporating that aspect. It's why a lot of people probably like them the most. What are people saying in the chat? Kylie Nuva says, what was the last Lego game that wasn't made by TT Games? Island Extreme Stunts? I don't know.
Traveler's
It was one of the
Tales?
Lego Island games, I thought. They tried to do a Lego Island 3 and it never like worked out, or it was like really bad or something. Void Online game better than Machinui Online game 2? Interesting. I don't know. I still like the look of Machinui Online game 2 just because it does still look like the original Monog.
You have Templar Studios and everything.
Yoshi Dude says from the website of Light Brick Studios almost sounds Builder's Journey is independent from Lego, but Lego did publish it. There's a chance for Mask of Powers. Okay, you're giving an example of, Lego publishing a game that was made by someone else. True. Nitron is here. Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? Julia D, don't you diss Bionicle Heroes? It's better than the 03 game. I don't know, man. I don't know if it is.
What?
Who knows? No, seriously, thrown a lot of people.
It's at least playable.
Like it's a little longer, at least. Like you played a little
Bionicle
longer.
Heroes is at least playable. And not unlike the original 03
less
game.
less glitchy, I guess. But also, I just like the characters more in Bionicle 2003. But it's a hard game to play, that 2003 game. To be able to beat it, it's so difficult.
Which game? Monog 2 or something?
Oh no, Bionicle 3.
Monog 2 was Modern New Online Game 2 was hated by a lot of fans because of how grindy it was and how little it had to do with the story of everything. It was mainly just a filler game, pretty much.
It was a filler.
Yeah, people are saying, Yoshida says, I bought both console games for my PS2 at my local used game store. Nice. Bionicle Heroes gets extra points for me for its soundtrack, says Carlos Maxwell. It did have a pretty good soundtrack, actually. Bioscroll, yeah, Bionicle Heroes, I agree, was basically a rated E Call of Duty. Guillotine says, favorite Mari. I don't know. Probably Holly.
You'd have to take
even with the lime green joints breaking, I think Holly was the coolest.
Just off of appearance, or by the amount of powers that
appearance, the color scheme, the wings on the back.
Appearance alone. Okay.
Appearance alone, I thought Holly was awesome. Character wise is Matoro. What are you doing?
I honestly liked Holly. I liked Holly a lot as well. I liked Holly a lot as well in her Mari form, just because of her silhouette.
Yeah,
but
the silhouette.
Power-wise, just purely power-wise, I think Huki would be my favorite.
True.
Because he has the aqua, like that aqua sword, the war lance thing. He has this mask of gravity, his stone elemental powers, which means he can create, absorb, and manipulate stone and solidified protodermis. And he has his chains, which are electrified. Did people forget that the reason why he had chains?
That's insane. I forgot it for a moment, but now I remember in the books.
I know. Noah Productions did that in his Ignition video of Huki fighting Gadunka with the electric chains.
Yep.
Yeah, Yoshi Dude says the newest LEGO game is Builder's Journey is not made by Telltale. Kalanuva says Island Extreme Stunts is LEGO Island 3 and my favorite one. Interesting, Kalanuva. For me, LEGO Island 2 is my favorite. I just loved that game when I was young.
And it's unfortunate to see that TT Games or Traveler's Tale is they've filed for bankruptcy.
Right.
Well, they're owned by Warner Brothers, aren't they?
I thought they were owned by them because that's
TT Games is owned by Warner Brothers since 2007.
That makes sense.
TT Games isn't working on. That's the thing is TT Games isn't working on, like, for example, like the new Lego Star Wars game.
Right? I thought the Skywalker Saga was going to be like the last thing that they did.
There were so many problems that they had. I don't know. Maybe that's unfortunate. But I guess if your
initial release date was for this year,
it was like a year and a half ago.
Oh initially. Yeah, Warner Brothers. It's the publisher is Warner Brothers, but the developers is TT Games and Traveler's Tales.
Wow.
Yeah. And Star Wars is owned by Disney, so
that's so strange.
Collaborating with.
Yeah, Lucasfilm is working on it as well.
What a weird position to be in. Oh my god. That's too bad that they went bankrupt, but it kind of makes sense when all they make is pretty much just Lego games.
Yeah, Lego games. It's only going to make so much money.
Right.
That's basically all they made.
Yeah. Builder's Journey I enjoyed, although too short and too expensive. It was a good game at least.
Holly or Huki says post on Huki Mari. I'm getting a lot of Huki or Joller.
No Matoro
says Holly. I think if we're story wise Matoro, but people are also going on like design and other things as well. Island 2 is also my childhood, says Kyrie Nuva. I remember I got Island 2 like years after it had come out. It was like in a combo pack of other games that came with Bionicle the game as well. I agree. Nitron says, why didn't we I wish we could get Lego Racers remastered. I want to find a way to
Lego Racers is the best game, hands down. Don't at me.
The best Lego game ever made. Lego
Hands down,
Racers.
it's my favorite one. I've replayed that thing on the what was it? It's like a Nintendo 64. Awesome.
Yeah, that game is fun. Lego Racers. What? There was also like an Ultra Dome game, or what was it called? Lego Racers.
It's either that or the Power Miners RTS.
Yeah. Well, the Power Miners RTS I've been trying to do with my. Or is it like Rock Raiders? Is Power Miners or Rock Raiders?
Oh yeah, Rock Raiders. Yeah,
I've been
it was Rock
trying
Raiders.
to get a time to like replay through it with my roommate. 'cause
Are you
he
playing
played it.
the new remastered one?
Yeah, it'd be like the new remaster.
Yeah. The guy who's working on the remaster. It looks so good.
That's so great. Yeah, people saying Yoshi says, yeah, Lego Racers is the best, 100%.
They're also saying that that Traveler's Tale also kind of made basically the same game after they released the first Lego Star Wars. So if you think that FIFA fans or Madden fans have it bad, think about Traveler's Tale's game fans. Like, with the exception of Bionicle Heroes, every single one of their games are basically the same, just with little things added on.
Right.
Lego Star Wars, Lego Star Wars 2, Lego Star Wars 3, Indiana
Raiders.
Jones 1 and 2, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Lego City Undercover. It's the same thing. It's the same gameplay style.
They were
the
making
controls are
money
the
for a
same.
while, but yeah, it goes to show you eventually it gets a little old, and they're not totally making as much money. I mean, I feel like for some of the developers too, it was like, okay, we're doing this again. Just just got to put in new designs and character faces based off of the Lego sets, and then that's it. Not an intense from the ground up game developing experience is what you would find with other studios. There's a Rock Raiders Remastered. Yeah, Kyler Neva, there is a Rock Raiders Remastered. You should check out.
The future of the Bionicle subculture thing, I guess. It seems like the actual, like, the future of it is going to be more like, it's going to be more in the games side, or it's going to be more in like the storytelling narrative side. It's not going to be like toy oriented anymore.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be toy oriented for a long time. Oh my God, no. Let's see, who else do we have? I think it was interesting when so one of the videos I watched, let's see if we can pull up, was at Brick Fair. I don't know if that's watching right now checked it out, but basically Black Six from BZ Power, which is nuts that he like started BZ Power when he was like 13, 14. It's like crazy. And then LJ, of course, did like an interview. They apologize for the sound because it's not amazing, but I would recommend going and watching this. Just purely because it's just interesting to hear a lot of what LJ does a good job, but what Black Six has to say, or I think what's his name? Yeah, Andrew. What he has to say about like those early years of BZ Power, it's very fascinating, and they do touch on this, that the future of Bionicle, as far as like this like fan group, is like creations with whatever is left as far as like set pieces and stuff you can find via garage sales or Bricklink. But also it's just story. It's just like the community making their own headcanon, their own stories. It's what Greg Farshi was also talking about in the interview that he did on the Beaver House's stream, was basically just like, look, we tried really hard to make this intense story with intense lore, and now it's really up to the fans, and seeing the fans kind of come together to basically make their own their own canon, their own stories. It's like stuff that we see all over our discords, like Gio, you do a bunch of writing, a lot of people are doing just like their own writing, and that's kind of like definitely the future, at least for the next, 5 years. I'll give it that, at least, until we hear anything as far as other and the games. For me, the most important part is like doing these weekly shows, or at least kind of a handful of times a month, to kind of keep the conversation going, but also for sure the video games. Like I think that's such a thing right now, of groups working together and finding the time to be able to put a a lot of their work and their talents towards a fan-made game like this really is, I think, like the future of the franchise as a whole. For my personal like interest as far as exploring what I loved about Bionicle in the first place, which a lot of these games are doing, which is developing just from that first year, the island of Machanui. So alas, while it looks bleak when it comes to future sets on Lego store shelves, I do believe they're always going to hold on to the IP. I mean, the day that they sell the IP or give away the IP is the day that they're never going to touch it again. But they're holding on to it, as they should, as a company should, because you just never know what happens. I mean, who knows what will happen? Yeah, like Kyler New was saying, what about the 25th anniversary? It's like, you don't know. You don't exactly know what could be coming in the future. So, I don't know, Gio, you were starting to talk about it. Darth Raven, do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Because, yeah, like I said, guys, if you watch this interview, it's just interesting to me to listen to Andrew, Black Six, who is, I mean, he's got to be like 30 or entering his 30s or in his 30s because of the age that he was at when BZ Power just started, and to be able to do all the things he did, run the forums, run the website, even at such a young age at the time, still took, he couldn't have been like 5-6 years old like I was. So it's nuts to me to hear someone of his age doing, this sort of like interview where he really gets into what it was like back then, and how I think there was like a Yahoo forum that he made, and then he found BZ Power, went to BZ Power. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, BZ Power was where I checked daily. Literally, I'd always type in B and it was BZ Power. Even before Bionicle.com, I was visiting BZ Power because they would have the scoops on future sets and just all sorts of forums and ways to talk about it. And Greg was on there constantly. I stopped going once Bionicle was over because every time I went to BZ Power, they would just talk about Lego, which, I mean, of course, what else are you going to talk about? But pretty interesting, pretty exciting to just see a guy like Andrew, who's been around for so long, really get into what it was like in those early days and what he thinks the future of Bionicle is. So if you haven't yet, check out, just search BZ Power Brick Fair 2021 interview with LJ and Black Six. His name's Andrew. Just like, the audio quality isn't amazing. They couldn't really set up a mic. Also, they're in the back corner of this giant, they're at Brick Fair, Virginia, so it's like packed. You can tell it's a convention setting, but to be able to hear what they had to say, like, I wish I almost could have gone. I would have brought like a microphone and a nicer camera and really set it up well. But I think, in the next year, like, I'm excited to go to these conventions as I become more financially stable and all that. I just think it would be fun it's not that expensive to go to like a BrickCon or a Brick Fair and talk to fellow fans of Lego and Bionicle. It might be something I'm doing. I was talking to Theron earlier. I'm thinking about going to Seattle for BrickCon, but that's another thing with like the future of Bionicle. Like, the community's here, and I was talking about, wouldn't it be crazy to have like a Bionicon? Well, the closest thing we would have to it, to like be meeting up together as a community, would be like BrickCon or Brick Fair Virginia. So things like that.
Yeah, we would have to funnel that niche subgenre into like an already more popular
yes,
like into an already more popular con. It's like it's very akin to Comic-Con in a way, but it honestly, we don't really need a con, honestly, because the community is not, I would say it's arguably not big enough to host a con.
Like this Beaver House, obviously it was actually very difficult to find Beaver House's stream on Bionicle Day. I found it. It had 300
people.
Well, in total,
600 people
throughout the entire stream, I think, tuning in and out, there was at least maybe 1,000 or so. But at one time, it was max, I think, like 280, 350. I remember seeing around 300, 316, 315.
And it was held at a time where people were mostly at work, because Bionicle fans nowadays are mostly adults.
I'm an adult. Yeah, I'm 21.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
For sure, Thrawn, no big deal.
Sure.
I know you have your own stream later, right?
Yeah, I just got all my sets in, so I'm gonna build maybe one or two of them.
Thrawn went to. Also, you just went to a local. What was it? In Monroe,
Bricks and minifigs yesterday.
which is like a small store outside of Seattle that had like.
They had a Bionicle table. I'll let you know.
Oh man, I gotta go there and get every. What do they do? Is it just it's pieces, right? It's all these.
Yeah, they have like tables of pieces, and there's a Bionicle table with just Bionicle parts.
That's
And
awesome.
bag's like $20.
Trebutron told me himself that he's going to be going to Emerald City BrickCon again.
Oh, nice.
Where is it again? Where?
Seattle.
Well,
Oh,
it's
geez.
not. Is that what they call it? I thought it was just BrickCon. It's Emerald
It's
City
just
BrickCon.
it's just BrickCon.
It's BrickCon, but
Yeah.
it's in Seattle, which the other name for Seattle is Emerald City.
Emerald City.
I don't know how safe Seattle is right now, but
Oh, very safe.
It's very.
So safe. Oh my god. That's why I'm excited. If I go, it'll be
All right,
fun.
I'm gonna go.
All
Y'all
right.
have
See you
fun.
later, Thrawn. Tune in to his YouTube channel soon. He's going to be going live on Twitch too, right?
I'll be going live only on Twitch. I do the live
Only
stream
on Twitch. So check it out
Yep.
on Twitch. Good stuff,
All right,
man.
bye bye.
Peace. Let's see if we can get. Oh, it cut everything off. Let's see if we can get J-Gram for the end here. Yeah, maybe let's go. Let me see if we can check in on the rest of the comments here. Actually, this is fine. Julie D. by the way says something that gets me about speculations about what 2017 could have been is that people say MOUP pieces would have been 2017 collectibles, yet the only thing they change in the ending is I think they're still writing Julia D is active in the chat. Oh my god, the Mighty Tuma is wasted potential. Tuma sucks. The Mighty Tuma, more like the weakling tuna. What? Okay, ending is Makuta escaping. The ending is pretty much same as only a cliffhanger. The ending, Makuta escaping the Toa knot. Are you talking about? Is he talking about the Netflix? What's MOUP?
It's not Journey to One.
Yeah, I was gonna say what.
I honestly don't remember.
I honestly don't remember. Now, I understand that people like grew up or were younger when G2 came out, but to me, like nothing about that story really grabbed me. So I have no interest in like that getting extended.
Yeah, I did not bother even. I do not have a single G2 set, nor do I really care much about getting one
I
because
have
like
all the canister G2 sets.
I didn't get
because it
Wave
reminds
2.
me of
That's
Hero
about it.
Factory.
Yeah, it just reminded me so much of Hero Factory.
I have all the canister Toa sets. I have Umarak the Hunter, Umarak the Destroyer.
It's
Lord of
crazy.
Skull
Those
Fighters.
those still go for a lot of money, which is wild because the
Mask of Ultimate Power.
Wave 2 of G2, so 16, they didn't make a lot of them. So it's actually very hard to find them. So they actually go for a lot of money if you have those.
Also got the Akimu one with the red Mask of Shadows for Umarak the Hunter. And I think the only beast I got out of the 4 I think there was Storm Beast.
Right.
It was the one with the blue 4-length Hero Factory.
Right. Okay,
CCS
cool. Notice how, Kyrie Neva says, notice how people are still working on G1 content while G2 remains non-existent. Yeah, because there's no...
Yes, because people don't care about
Yeah.
G2, okay?
There's no depth.
G2 was there, and then it was gone. It was just another Lego theme. Bionicle G1 was actually a story that had intrigue and depth and characters that we loved. Honestly, we should be keeping G1 alive. G2 can just burn.
Yeah. Kyrie Neva says, Yoshidu says, G2 trends in the neon colors of Transformers G2. Oh, Mask of Ultimate Power, Julia D says. Okay, cool. Yoshi Dude, I have all the sets of G2. That makes sense, Yoshi Dude, because you're also younger, and so you know, it's like I was in college sophomore year. You know, I'm 21 when G2 comes out, and I collected those first couple canisters, but that year also I was going through a lot, and just like Wave 2 to me looked like just a copy paste of the same, but like different armor, and the masks got weirder, and I just was like, I was like,
What do
I'm
you want
good. Like
when
I didn't
G2
even
came
I didn't
out?
even know and I'm the biggest Bionicle fan, but I didn't even know they had done a Netflix show till literally like 2016. I'm watching like Stranger Things on Netflix, and I look at the like recommended, and there's Bionicle, and I'm like, what? They do like a 3D animated. I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I'd had like a couple drinks, so I tossed it on. I remember I was just like fast forwarding, like, oh my god, it's all the same voices, and it's like terrible animation.
The animation isn't all that bad, but it's just really stiff.
It's stiff and it's hard to tell characters apart. Like they all look the same. That's what I noticed.
Don't blame the animation studio. Blame Lego on that.
Oh, 100%. Because they had other animation studios working on Lego content at the time that was much better. Boss Novadam says, I regret not getting the G2 sets, but I just wasn't interested in Bionicle at the time. It wasn't until recently when I started working and had free time that I became extremely nostalgic. Bioskull says, I only got the Masters of Earth and Fire Protector and Lord of Skull Spiders. I got all of the Wave 1 G1 sets. I didn't even finish reviewing them because I just got
I got all
super
the
busy.
I had all the G2 canister sets. I did not get the Titans until way after.
Yeah,
And the only 2016 set I got while they were still on shelves was Onua. For whatever reason.
Josh Gage says, just got a sealed Baraki today. Mantax fave canister. That is awesome. Those canisters were crazy cool. I remember being like, whoa. Like a lot like the
They're
Roxy.
slanted,
the
dude.
Roxy, the canisters opened on the bottom instead of the top, which we'd seen in the Roxy, but nothing else since. And I remember like the slant, the translucent blue with the bubbles, like the design on the side of the canisters for the Baraki were so cool. I remember like going to my Toys R Us and seeing 2 or 3 of them on shelves and immediately being like, all right, Dad, my allowance for the next 3-4 weeks is going to go towards this purchase right here. I need it's like I was opening a credit card. I was like, I need a loan. Yeah, those sets were
I'm gonna need to
awesome.
require a loan.
And it came out,
for getting my bunkles.
those sets, you know, if you were lucky enough, and it's just how Lego releases things, but they would drop in late December, like literally like the week of Christmas or the week after, so around New Year's. So the story hadn't even come out yet, and this was when they started to release the villains before the heroes. So, because like the Paraka came out before the Nika, the Baraki came out before the Amari. But I remember like going to Toys R Us and seeing Prydak, Mantax, and I think Kalma. I think I even might have got Elec at the time. And I remember like just building them in my dad's like office at the time, like after school, or it was like on a weekend, and just like being like, I have no idea what these characters do, what they say, who they are, but like these are awesome, you know. So yeah, very nostalgic for that stuff. Julia D says the overcomplex story didn't kill G1, and Nika build being spammed killed G1.
Honestly, if
Maybe,
that's all
I
that
don't
killed
know.
G1, it honestly
It's not
could have
all-
been killed for worse.
Yeah, but it's not all that killed G1, but that's funny. Bionicle Forever, the fact the sets broke from 07-010 kind of killed the theme too. I guess, like pieces
wait.
No,
breaking.
sales were declining before that
Yeah.
happened.
Sales
They were declining by 2004. They were declining by 2004, and if they didn't do 2005 the way they did, they probably would have kept going, and Bionicle would have been like Ninjago is now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Ninjago's still going because a lot of the same characters have stayed around. The villains change, some characters leave and go, but by alienating and abandoning a lot of just the casual Bionicle audience that knew Tahu, Gali, Kopaka, Onua, Liwa, Pohatu.
Not to mention soft reboots to keep
Yeah.
everybody interested if you're just starting to get into it.
But yeah, I hear you there too, but also it's just like I think that was a big reason is like 2004 through 7, literally 4 years, right after the Mask of Light had come out and people are really starting to get into these characters. Some people's introduction to Bionicle was that movie because, you know, that was what their family would do. They'd feel like it's more worth it for me to not buy 10 toys and just buy a film that my kid can watch again and again and again. You know, some people appreciate that more.
And Lego has just been constantly just getting exponentially more expensive with their sets.
Of course.
Like the small sets are now worth $10.
At least the smallest you're going to spend is $10. It was not like when you could buy
Protectors of Fire, Protectors of Jungle, all
like
that.
a canister set was $750 in 2001 or like $6. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. $2.99
Inflation,
for a Taraga. Oh yeah, it's inflation. It's also like oil prices. It's a mix of a lot of things.
Jesus.
But yeah, that is a theory that I have. It's like those 4 years alienated a lot of the casual Bionicle fans who liked Tahu and Gali and Kopaka and these characters that they knew. So seeing, even though it was like Vakama and like Joller, you know, it was still tough for some people. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of things. Julia D. Only or Nitron says, remember, guys, Lego has a vault filled with every set they've ever made, so they have the entire G1 arsenal still in packaging. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure there's still some molds that they have, but generally when it comes down to molds, they really, because they try to be economical, they melt molds down for new molds, but they use the same, like, ginormous piece. Low sales, yeah, low sales 100%. John Gage says, I always seem to revisit your BrickCon 2011 blogs, especially episode 8, so nostalgic. I mean, brother, Josh Gage, if I'm able to save the money up in the next couple of days, I might buy a ticket to Seattle from October 1st through the 4th to go to BrickCon. I just got to be really smart with my cash over the next month or two. But I'm excited to do that, because I might. And if I do, you know, I'll do the private convention. Because you don't need to be a creator. You don't need to be someone that has something on display there, which I definitely won't be. But you can still be a part of the private convention, which includes not just being able to walk the floor, but like 2 days pre and post of like just hanging out with Lego people all the time. And it's funny because I'd love to go because I'd see some familiar faces who I haven't seen in 10 years. So I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I would make vlogs again. It'd be kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see. I'd also wear like a couple Bionicle shirts. I might even bring my old LegomationStudio sign and walk around just for fun. Who knows? You never know. You never know.
You still got it? You
Oh
still
yeah,
got that thing?
My mom has it in the garage back home. 100%. So we'll
Nice, man.
see. Yeah, I'm very interested. I might be going now. The more and more I think about it, it's cheap. I mean, I was looking at it. I can buy a ticket for like $100, like round trip LAX to Seattle for those days, and then it's like
LAX
80.
to SeaTac? Dude, that's a steal.
It is a steal. Prices are going down right now, so I'm probably gonna jump on that. But yeah, honestly, guys, I have to get ready. I have dinner, and I'm like meeting some other friends later. But this has been a long one. We've been going for an hour and a half. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
I guess, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know Nitron, Yoshi Dude, John Gage, Bionicle Forever, Julia D, all these people, Yoshi Dude, Kyler Nuva, everyone that was watching today, thank you so much. Post on who else? Bioscral, of course, Alien Kid 360. Thanks, Jager, for joining. And guys, click the link in the description if you haven't yet. Join the Discord. And thanks, Darth Revan. Thanks, Thrawn, for, of course, coming on. And Gio, of course, my co-host, for this stream. It was a good time. We had a lot to talk about. So, in the meantime, guys, you know, feel free to, join the Discord. Or if you don't have or do Discord, comment on, like, my community posts on just other ideas and topics you think we could talk about. One thing that Gio... an idea that he had brewing, which I want to gauge your guys' we only have 6 now, I guess it went down, but I want to gauge whoever's still listening's ideas is for doing something on our Discord of like live watch-alongs or live gameplay, just kind of bring more people, more traffic into the Discord. It's an idea he had that I think would be interesting, and I'd make a little YouTube video announcement for it of doing like a watch-along for like Legends of Metronui or Mask of Light or something. So things are happening slowly but surely. But yeah. Cool.
Like a watch party.
Perfect.
Do you have anything on the soundboard to play for like the outro at all?
I have.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Until then, thanks. Until then, my name is Zach Kaplan, Legomation